Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Key of Shadow. I am recording this literally right after I just did my my thoughts on the Dissidia open beta. And I did mention that I was going to talk about something that was happening in Xenoverse 2. This is only happening today. This is only happening for like one day. This is my third time going through it. This is my second time trying to record it. The first time I tried recording it, I forgot to turn my mic on. So I ended up almost uploading something that was called My Thoughts without any of my voice. Anywho, so this is going to be my thoughts on the current tournament the current world tournament that's happening in Xenoverse 2. As you can see, it's only happening for one day with limitations. Tournament region is regional, and the character restriction is Gohan Only. Now, I thought it was bad with... Now, the first tournament I experienced was where the character limitation was cast characters only. So only characters that actually appeared in the Dragon Ball series only that are in the game. So you couldn't use your custom character. That sucked, but it made somewhat sense. Even though pretty much everyone in the tournament was either playing as Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Hit, or Super Saiyan Gogeta. Because those three are like the best fucking characters in the game, competitively speaking. Second tournament I experienced was... It was a tournament where the character restriction was only characters that came out in DLC Pack 5 or Extra Pack 1. So that limited your options to 4 characters. Tapion, Android 13, Deborah, and Majin Buu Gohan Absorbed. This tournament is possibly the worst. This tournament's limitations are possibly the worst yet. I heard there was a Deborah only tournament like a while back, like about a month ago or something, like sometime, I don't remember when it was, but it was sometime after DLC Pack 5 came out. But this is even worse because there's only like 2 versions of Gohan people are gonna play. It's either gonna be Future Gohan, or it's going to be...
let's get going.
Or it's gonna be Ultimate Gohan. And obviously, what's gonna be picked more is Ultimate Gohan. Now because Gohan, any version of Gohan, competitively speaking, isn't very good.
Hope I trained enough.
People are going to resort to using cheap tactics to try and... Like, okay, this guy is somewhat lagging. And... yeah, people are going to resort to cheap tactics in order to actually perform in this tournament. Now, here's the thing. This guy is actually doing quite fucking terribly. Okay, there's the problem. For one thing, Gohan is like any version of Goku in this game. When he has a back hit that it does 2 kicks, he does like a turn with his kicks. Now this guy's lagging, so some performance may be bad. This guy's actually doing fucking terribly, I'm not gonna lie. And if this guy does end up actually watching this for some reason, by any chance, first off, I'm sorry that I'm recording. I need to get my thoughts on this out. That should have landed, but whatever. I shouldn't have broken his stamina. I gave him a stamina reset. But people are going to... The first 2 times that I did this, the first time I was just messing around, the second time I tried to first record, when I tried to record, the person was not only lagging, but he was also resorting to using things like key stunning and other cheap bullshit. Key stunning is basically a thing where you throw like a regular key blast, you get the enemy in a stun animation, and then... And because they are in this stun animation, it gives you a free combo. This guy is actually doing quite horribly. I don't know how that... Okay, I still lost, even though I should have hit that, but whatever. Must have been just been lag. I'm assuming. But I mean, this is bad. This idea for a tournament is bad, especially considering how well known the Xenoverse 2 community is known for shitty stuff. You know, I'm not gonna do another match. I only did one match, try to demonstrate something I meant, but this guy actually did not use any cheap tactics. In fact, until the end right there, he was actually doing quite horribly. And I am hot garbage at this game, so... But honestly, this is just one of those things... Honestly, when it comes to stuff like that, it just makes me realize that maybe Xenoverse 2, or the Xenoverse games in general, aren't made for competitive PvP. Like, yeah, you could do... Like, here's how I personally see the Xenoverse games. Because the way that they're made, they're more made with the way I see it, they're more made with the quests, like the parallel quests in mind, or the expert missions, or stuff like that. Or even the raids. It feels like it was made with more of that in mind than it was the PvP. But because it's a Dragon Ball game, and it was classified as a fighting game, it needed, and it came out during a time when online gaming is a thing. It felt that it needed to have player versus player ranked. No, I couldn't just settle for having like regular player versus player where you just mess around, maybe help each other, maybe help level you up a little bit. Because when you do regular player matches, you do actually get experience points whether you win or lose. It's only in the ranked matches where you get, well, ranks. But it just feels like, okay, that's it just feels like that with the way that this game was built, it was not built for PvP. It was built with questing in mind. And while yes, you could still fight with your friends, like you could still fight against your friends with that kind of build, you couldn't do a competitive thing. Which is why I don't think a game like Dragon Ball Xenoverse should have like world rankings for PvP or tournaments. Rankings for raids and even rankings for the Hero Coliseum, that makes somewhat sense, because with the Hero Coliseum, you more or less don't have to deal with lag switching and cheap tactics, because the Hero Coliseum works with you using strategy. And in raids, you're not fighting against other players, you are working with other players to try and take down a big baddie. Like, the most recent raid was Broly. By the way, the reward for that raid was shit, but semantics. So I don't think that this is a game where you should have a competitive mindset. Like, the world tournaments, they're fun and all. Like, they can be fun depending on, you know, what the rule set is, but because it's ranked and you actually get rewards based on your performance in the tournament, like depending on how many people you've beaten in a row or beaten in general. Like, if you have higher wins than you do losses, then you will get a better reward than someone who just participated a couple of times and didn't win at all. Like, because I fought 3 times, but I lost all 3 times, I'm probably just gonna get, like, mixing materials. Whereas someone who wins a few times, like, let's say someone who wins, like, 5 times will get some piece of equipment or something. I just don't think that games like this, where not only do you have the co-op for quests and stuff, I don't think it should have a focus on ranked PvP. Now, people will say, it's a fighting game, so it has to have a competitive scene. I don't really know, I don't really keep up with events in this game, but I don't think that there are, like, actual tournaments where people go to a venue and fight in Xenoverse 2. Because more often than not, it seems like people will use their custom character. And if they're going to a tournament somewhere else, they're not going to be able to use their custom character, so I doubt people will do that. The way that I see this game is the way that I see Xenoverse 2, it has the mindset, the way that I see it, my mindset at least, is the fact that with you making your own custom character, it's sort of like fan fiction-y, I guess, but you know, custom character is kind of a common thing in some games like this anyways. Because the massive focus on questing, and it feels like that this game was built more with questing in mind rather than actually fighting against other players. Like, let's say you want to use the Spirit Bomb, like the Super Spirit Bomb, the big one that Goku uses, that Goku has been using since the Frieza saga, or the Namek saga, whatever you want to fucking call it. That move works best in quests than it does in PvP. If you want to do it in PvP, you need to set the situation perfectly. But if you're doing it in a quest with a group of your friends, hence you're able to do it a lot easier because the AI it gets distracted easily. A lot of the skills and a lot of the mechanics there in this game are best used for questing rather than for anything competitive. Overall, my thoughts are, on the tournament itself, I think the tournament is trash. I think any tournament that happens in Xenoverse 2 is trash because no matter what the limitations are, people are going to use some sort of cheap tactic, whether it be lag switching, key stunning, or using an overpowered character. Or in the case of the Gohan Only tournament, you're probably just going to see key stunning and lag switching. And if it was a tournament that allowed custom characters, you would see a bunch of male Earthlings that have unvanishable combos, like combos that you can't vanish out of, and as well as the other cheap tactics like spamming Aura Slide or spamming other attacks that honestly shouldn't be as good as they are, but they're fucking fantastic because they're so easily spammable and they do insane damage. So far, what I've seen, I've been playing Xenoverse 2 for about a year now. I've had the game for about a year now. I have like 5 characters, which, by the way, I do have the 3rd episode of the Xenoverse Let's Play. I do have the 3rd episode recorded. I've had it recorded for like a month. I just haven't uploaded it because it just seems like people are already getting burned out on Xenoverse 2, but I need to get my thoughts out about the tournament, which is why I'm making this video in the first place. The game, Xenoverse 2, is still a fun game. It's fun for like fighting against AI, and it's fun to fight your friends in player matches, not ranked, player, where you're just trying to have fun, and it's also phenomenal on questing and raids. But in terms of the competitive scene for Xenoverse, because of how toxic the Xenoverse community has become, or how toxic the Xenoverse community has always been, I don't think this should be a competitive game. I do not think this should be seen as competitive by anyone. I've rambled on long enough. I'm sure people are getting bored of me talking about like what games I think should have a competitive scene, what games shouldn't. But with everything said and done, I've been the Key of Shadow. This is Jolene, and I'm just gonna wave goodbye. I'll see you guys in the next video. Key of Shadow, signing out.